Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about leading a happy life. Before I start, can I ask you a question? If you have been asked to give a choice between health and a wealth, which one you will prefer to pick? Health, obviously. I would give an analogy. Health and wealth are like your mother and father. Very important for us to have a life in this universe. But whenever you are in a difficult situation, you go towards your mom. You're calling your mother. That's it. So let's talk about health. Health, predominantly I would look at is three parts of health. Physical health, mental health, and spiritual health. So this is very important aspect for us to live a well-being and a happy life. So let me begin the talk with a small story. I was born in this universe along with my twin brother in a small village in Karnataka. My mother used to tell us a story about how they were able to manage our growth during the early stage of our life. My elder sister was there along with my mom to take care of both of us. My brother, as usual, was little naughty, and I still remember those days of my early childhood days when I was sleeping on the lap of my mother. He used to come and we used to have a fight, and that is when I was getting comfort of lap of my sister. She was like a mother for me. Days passed. She got married and had kids. We completed our graduation, started our corporate life. It was 22nd of March 1997, full moon day. I was in the US on an assignment at a client site. Finished my job and came back home and had my dinner. I was about to go to bed. I got a call from India. That too, you might know, in 1998, during that time, ISDs were costly. It might be 10 o'clock in India that time, morning. I had a shocking news of my life. My sister, who was my mother, ended her life. It took time for me to realize what is happening around me. My roommates and people around there expressed their condolence and helped me to realize this is life. We need to move on with it. I learned a great lesson on that particular day. But the question remained unanswered. What really happened? Especially why? If she would have spoken to any one of us, be it her family rift, financial situations, or any other thing that she is going through in her life, we would have extended our arm to take care of her. Today, my mother would have been listening to this talk and with me here. So with that, let's begin a movement called Let's Talk. We all go through a different life situation, and that's where the aspect of it is. So let me talk about the aspect of life. Between letter B and D, we see a letter C. C stands for change. Change is a continuous, and this is a change that happens in our life. Change happens across. We need to adapt to the change. And change happens in our lifetime. We born as a small kid and changes happen. This is a nature. We need to adapt to it. To face this change, what we need is three important aspects. First one is courage. Second one is confidence. Third one is consciousness to understand the bigger aspect of it. So this is where I started talking to people and started a movement called Let Us Talk. Let me put one more question to you all. In next 5 seconds, if I ask you to name 5 important people in your life, take the 5 names of those important people in your life. If you're done, I would like to ask you, do you see your name in that list? If not, it's a high time that you need to put your name first in the important people in your life. Because if you are there and everybody is there, and that's the reason we do not want anybody to end their life. The other aspect, I said, let us talk. So if you believe it or not, you talk to yourself most of the time. The maximum talk that you do with anybody is you, nobody else. And there are many people who speak even in the night, sleeps as well. That's an apart. But you talk to yourself most. So what you talk to yourself is very important, which helps you to build what you are. With that, let's move on. Try understand what is this mental health aspect is. The three important aspects that comes in our life is mental health, the next one is physical health, a third one is spiritual health. I call this as wellness triangle. It is important to connect all three in order to have a concise life for us to lead an happy life. I started the presentation saying a happy life. Happy life comes in across when you are able to understand these three aspects of life in a proper way. I call this wellness triangle primarily because it is the triangle that makes the connection between all three. Let me go one by one. Spiritual energy, what I call it as. We are here, there is some superpower that has given us a life on this earth, that is sitting within us, and it is there all the time with us. It is watching what you are doing, what aspects are going around your life and all those. The day that is moving out of our body, what you call it as soul or spiritual energy, superpower, whatever it is, you are nobody. You are a dead body. So that's the reason you need to understand and connect with that spirit all the time. That is the spiritual energy. The second one is physical health and a physical energy. That is very important for us to have a strong body and maintain that with the right food, right rest for the body, right exercise, and more importantly, right sleep in order to get it right rest for the. I would call it as temple in which the God soul is sitting inside. You need to maintain this temple with the physical aspect of it. Now the third important one is a mental energy. What is that? It is not visible. As I said in the beginning, we talk to ourselves most of the time. That is the talk that happens through a thought get generated in our mind. Mind is so powerful that it is much faster than even the ray of light. People may think light is the fastest, but mind is much faster. I can give you an example right now. If you can think of America and you wanted to go to Washington DC, you can close your eyes, you are there in a minute. Whereas light might take time to reach there, but you can reach. Look at your power of your mind, and we don't use it very well. And if you use it right, you can do wonder. So that is where mental health or mental wellness is very important aspect of it. That's a superpower and an energy because that gets developed with an environment. So there is a soul which is within you. It is talking all the time. If you start listening to the noise that is there inside, the voice that is there inside, you will not be worried about noise that is outside. So inner voice is more important than the external noise. So that gives you a peace of mind for you to stay happy, healthy in the universe. I draw this whole of the process as the process. The THE stands for thoughts, habits, and emotions. So emotions are juices of life. There will be a time where you go through higher emotions, you go through a lower emotions. These are part of it. We need to understand this emotion and control it and connect it to the spirit. That is when you get connected and your mental stability or mental wellness will be taken care of. Now thoughts, as Buddha said, there is nothing that can harm you more than your own thoughts that are unguarded. Think about it. What you think you become. So your thoughts are very important in order to understand and control it in the way that you wanted to lead the life with. Habits, I don't need to say, the habits that you build becomes what you are. Now let's look at each one of that in a little detailed way. Three important aspects of thoughts. That the context of the environment that you are in and the thoughts gets related to that. And the consciousness, if it is a day right now, there is obviously night that is coming in across. But if you are in a dark phase of your life, there is obviously a day, dark will go off and you will see the light. You need to have that patience. Kalaya tasmai namaha. Time is everything. You just need to give it time. That is very important aspect as a person that you need to see. Control your thoughts. Can the thoughts be controlled? It cannot be. As I speak here, there might be many thoughts that are going in your mind, and it is something that you cannot control. But what you can do is what you wanted to focus on is what I am meant by controlling the thoughts. Power of thoughts, what you think, you become. Now habits, there are three important pillars that I talk about in the habit. Track the goals, that's an habit that all of us has to build. Then accountability, if you have said something, how do you take an accountability of the same? Then last one is live in the gratitude, the build the habit of gratitude that can take us to the altitude. If you have an old habit, try to change the new habit. Emotions, those are very important aspect of it. Emotion depends upon the environment that you are in, and emotions can be controlled through the meditation, which helps you. The last but not the least is a self-talk. So out here, if you look at, I have dictated some of those thoughts or emotions that helps you to build a positive attitude and keep your energy at a high level. And the more important, as a wellness advocate, I would like to convey message. If you are going through the thoughts which are negative or low energy, you are feeling like a burnout or anything, it's a time to talk. Do not do just self-talk. Lean on somebody else whom you trust. You need an ear which can hear without having any justification. I would like to leave you all with this thought. You have your shoulder given by God. Lean it to somebody to lean on it and cry on it. You may not be able to lean on it and cry for it, and that is why God has given you this in order to help others. As what we say, when we are all together, it helps us to build a better world for us. With that, let me allow you to look at two pictures, reflect on yourself. Egg, when it realizes it's an egg, but what is its future? Realize and reflect on it. How you see it yourself is very important. A self-explanatory that helps you to realize what you are. Now, ending my thought with a beautiful message that I would like all of you to carry and pass it across to the people whom you come across is wellness. Mental wellness is an important aspect. Live in peace before somebody says rest in peace to you. Thank you very much.